Okay. I am ready to get started. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Buenos días a todos. Esta audiencia es su comparecencia inicial en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Yo soy el licenciado Brad Gardner, soy un juez en este tribunal.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Estoy aquí para informarles de las acusaciones formuladas en su contra,
to advise you of certain rights,
para informarle de ciertos derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
para imponerles fianza por los delitos los cuales tengo la autorización de imponer fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para programar su audiencia preliminar
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y también para determinar si requieren el asesoramiento de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tienen derecho a permanecer callados y no decir nada.
But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you.
Pero si eligen renunciar a ese derecho, cualquier cosa que diga durante esta diligencia se podría tomar en su contra.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Así que por favor no hablen de los hechos de su caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights:
Durante esta diligencia y cualquiera posterior tendrá los siguientes derechos.
to the presumption of innocence,
El derecho a ser presunto inocente.
to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors,
El derecho a ser acusado por el gran jurado cuando se trata de delitos graves para que emiten una acusación formal o que proceden en su contra con una acusación general cuando se trata de infracciones menores.
to a speedy and public trial by jury,
Tiene derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado,
to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
el derecho a ver, a escuchar y a interrogar los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra.
to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
El derecho a obligar que comparezcan testigos para que declaren a su favor.
to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
El derecho de dar su propio testimonio en defensa propia o de presentar pruebas en su propia defensa.
and to have an attorney represent you.
Y también el derecho a un abogado que lo represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si no puede costear los servicios de un abogado, se le puede designar uno de oficio si reúne los requisitos.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Algunos de ustedes se les permitirá depositar fianzas sin restricciones para que salgan en libertad de la cárcel.
These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property.
Se puede depositar la fianza en efectivo con una compañía comercial de fianzas o poniendo de garantía un inmueble.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes tendrán fianzas que conllevan condiciones las cuales le prohíba que tenga contacto con ciertas personas o que vayan a ciertos lugares.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
También se les prohíbe contactar a la víctima mientras están detenidos en la cárcel.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial.
Si incumple esta orden judicial, su fianza quedará revocada y puede permanecer en la cárcel hasta su juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
También se le pudiera formular acusaciones mayores adicionales.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Cabe notar que si una persona figura como la presunta víctima, en su caso, a esa persona no se le permite depositar la fianza por usted.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes se le acusan de delitos los cuales yo como juez no tengo la autorización de imponerles fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
Si este es su caso, una audiencia para la determinación de su fianza se señalará ante un juez de la Sala Superior del Condado de Clayton y a usted se le informaré de la fecha.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente está cumpliendo una condena de libertad condicional, entonces no tengo la autorización de imponerles fianza en este momento.
Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Se considerará si imponerle fianza sería apropiado en su caso, una vez que su agente de libertad condicional ha tenido la oportunidad de considerar esta nueva detención.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
El propósito de la audiencia preliminar es para que se determine si existe motivo fundado para las acusaciones en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
El estándar de lo que hay que probar es muy bajo en esta etapa judicial.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Para que un juez determine que una acusación siga adelante en esta etapa judicial, solamente tiene que determinar si es posible que el delito se perpetró.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Todos tienen la habilidad de renunciar a su derecho a la audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, deberían consultar con un abogado primero si no está seguro si le conviene renunciar a la audiencia preliminar o no.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si deposita fianza, la audiencia preliminar se renuncia automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Y recibirá notificación de la próxima cita judicial en la dirección que deja registrada al salir de la cárcel.
Lastly, I'm going to ask everyone to raise your right hand.
Por último, les voy a pedir a todos que levanten la mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
¿Juran o afirman que cualquier cosa que digan durante esta audiencia será la verdad y toda la verdad ante Dios lo juran?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Let's begin with Mr. Diaz Guzman.
Bueno, comencemos con el señor Díaz Guzmán.
Mr. Guzman, sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Guzmán, ¿puede usted oír y entender a la intérprete? Yes.
You've been charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act.
A usted se le acusa de un delito de violar la ley de Georgia sobre sustancias reguladas.
The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that offense.
La fianza para ese delito se impone a $5,000.
You've also been charged with trafficking in methamphetamine.
También se le acusa de tráfico de metanfetaminas.
The bond is going to be denied at this point pursuant to Georgia Statute 17-6-1.
Por el momento, la fianza para este delito queda denegada, según dispone la ley de Georgia 17-6-1.
I'm not allowed to set bond on that offense at this hearing.
No se me permite imponerle fianza por ese delito en este momento.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning.
Su audiencia preliminar, señor, se señala para la fecha 22 de septiembre a las 8:30.
I'm also going to set a bond hearing date for September 24th at 8:30 in the morning.
También Voy a programar la fecha de la determinación de su fianza. Esta audiencia se señala para el 24 de septiembre a las 8:30 de la mañana.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Quisiera que yo determine, señor, si usted cumple los requisitos para un abogado de oficio.
Sí.
Yes.
Are you currently working, sir?
Señor, ¿está trabajando actualmente?
Sí.
Yes.
Approximately how much do you make per hour?
Aproximadamente, ¿cuánto está ganando por hora?
19.
If the interpreter may ask him to repeat. ¿Cómo dice? ¿29?
19.
¿15?
19.
19.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Usted sí cumple los requisitos, señor, así que voy a designar un abogado de oficio para usted.
Do you have any questions for me?
Señor, ¿tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí?
Sí.
Yes.
Quisiera, quisiera ser testigo, ¿cómo se dice? Testigo que te resguarda la ley.
I would like to be a witness for the law.
You should contact the law enforcement agency that made the arrest.
Entonces usted debería contactar a la agencia de orden público que efectuó su detención.
Ok, pero ¿cómo lo hago?
Okay, but how will I do that?
Were you given any kind of business cards from the officer?
Señor, ¿el oficial le entregó alguna clase de tarjeta de presentación?
No.
No.
It looks like the arresting officer is listed as a Tyler Denham.
Your Honor, did you say Tyler Denham?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Parece que el oficial que lo detuvo se llamaba Tyler Denham.
Of the Department of Community Supervision.
Del Departamento de Supervisión Comunitaria.
Ok, entonces quisiera hacer todo lo posible para que me pongan en testigo protegido porque tengo cosas que decir.
Okay, I'd like to do everything possible so that they can make me a witness.
Okay, speak to your lawyer first about any of this so that the lawyer will be involved, okay?
Está bien. Hable con el abogado primero para que él esté informado y esté participando en todo eso.
Quisiera, si se podría hacer lo más posible la corte, si la pudieran cambiar para otra fecha, si es posible, porque
I'd like to see if it's at all possible to change it to another court date.
So the court date is going to be there until your lawyer can request a change.
Bueno, la fecha de su audiencia sigue en pie, pero su abogado puede pedir un cambio de fecha.
We set these court dates now so that you don't get lost in the system.
Programamos inicialmente la fecha de las audiencias para que uno no quede perdido en el sistema. Okay.
¿Cómo le hago para contactar al abogado lo más pronto posible?
And how do I go about contacting the lawyer? How is that possible?
It's going to be the the Clayton County Public Defender's Office.
Es la oficina de la Defensoría Pública del Condado de Clayton.
If you request the contact information, they will give it to you and you can call. I don't know when they're going to come and see you.
Y si usted pide la información de contacto, entonces ellos pueden pasar a verlo y usted puede llamar.
Ok, entonces me comunico con las personas, con los oficiales que están aquí conmigo para que me contacten.
So then I just communicate with the officers that are here with me so that they can contact me.
To request the information.
Para
And
pedir la
someone will get it
información.
for you.
pedir la información de la Defensoría Pública y alguien se la consigue.
Es que una cosa más, mi teléfono y mis teléfonos, y tengo números personales de mi mamá, lo tiene, se quedaron con el oficial.
Oh, one more thing. My phone and my personal phone numbers, my mom's number, those were left with the officer.
The officer may have, and I don't know the direct answer, but the officer may have taken your phone as evidence.
Yo no sé exactamente, pero el oficial pudiera haber confiscado su teléfono como parte de las pruebas.
Okay.
Okay.
Este,
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Está bien, señor. Ya se puede retirar. Gracias.
Una última pregunta.
One other question.
Says you're free to go back. That's it.
Oh, no, let's give him a chance to ask
Bueno.
one last question.
Vamos a darle la oportunidad de hacer una última pregunta. Sí, señor.
Quiero pedirle al señor pues que me dé una oportunidad para ser testigo protegido y asimismo declarar.
I would just like to ask for the opportunity to be a witness, and that way I will be able to testify.
Okay,
¿Está bien?
Okay.
all right,
Okay.
you're free to go back, sir.
¿Está
Speak to
bien?
your
Se puede
lawyer.
retirar. Consulte, hable con el abogado, señor.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Tolles.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Um,
That was all for this morning.
That is my understanding. We don't need Ms. Tolles for anyone else, correct?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Okay. Let's,
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. We're gonna switch back over to the ladies, but before I do that, I have three add-ons, a Mr. Bell, a Mr. Mons, and a Mr. Kane. So when I switch back over to the male side, there I'm gonna do them last. Okay.
What's the names again, Judge?
The last name was Bell, Ellie number 2003546. Hold on, let me check. My my vision is not as good as it used to be. I'm gonna check on his documentation. 2003546. There's also a Mr. Mons, Monds, and his number, Ellie number is looks like 2001652. And finally, a Mr. Kane, who has an Ellie number of 2070786.
Yes, Your Honor. We're having ready for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's switch back over to the ladies' side, beginning with Miss Butts.
Ms. Butts?
Ma'am, you're charged with one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Taryn Jenkins. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir. The amount of the bond, is that straight cash, or I can take it to a bonding company for a percentage?
You can take it to a bonding company for a percentage, and this is going to be true for all of the bonds, cash, commercial, or property. The commercial is the bonding company. Cash is the entire amount, and property, if you have property in Clayton County that has at least 3 times the value of the bond, you can put the property up to secure the bond. The sheriff will place a lien on the property And then when the case is over, they will take the lien off the property. Okay? Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Ms. Giles,
Ms. Giles, you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It appears like you don't have a criminal history. So I'm gonna set a bond of $20,000 for this offense. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Randolph White. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a felony offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Ms. Nielsen,
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of methamphetamine. I'm going to set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, ma'am?
No, ma'am. Or no, sir.
Okay, ma'am. You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir. I was just out on bond. What does this do? What does it mean?
I heard the out on bond part, and I believe I did see that. What was the last part of your question?
What does it do to my bond that I was on yesterday?
So your bond could be revoked. I'm setting a bond for you. It'll be something that the district attorney will have to move to try to have your bond revoked if that's something that they want to do. They may or may not, and I can't tell you what the district attorney is going to choose to do.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, all right, you're free to go back.
Ms. Norris,
Ma'am, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass and one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I'm going to set a total bond at, $1,000, $1,500 for the criminal trespass and $1,500 for the possession of marijuana for a total bond of $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
How much do you make per hour?
I make about 25.
Okay. I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Manini,
Ma'am, you're charged with one count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I can't hear her.
he said he has set your bond for $4,000. Do you believe you can take care of that bond?
Yeah.
She said yes, Your Honor.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Ansley Mormon. Do you understand that?
Stay away from Ainsley Mormon. Do you understand that?
She's still with from
Ainsley Mormon.
France.
She-
Woman.
Yes, do you know who that is?
That's the EMT.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Do you understand?
yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Richards.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Ms. Richardson,
Ms. Richardson, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of battery. I'm gonna set the bond at $20,000 on the aggravated assault charge, and I'm gonna set the bond at $5,000 on the battery charge for a total bond of $25,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from an Aaliyah Garrett. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, I have my own.
Okay, do you have any questions for me?
Yes.
What's your question?
So for the bonding company, is the 10% or 15?
It's not a set rate. It'll be somewhere between there. Contact each bonding company, tell them your charges, your bond amount, and have them to tell you what fee that they were charged. And I would go with the one that gives you the lowest fee.
Okay, and then my last question is, I live in Philadelphia, so will my court be on Zoom or will I have to come back to Atlanta for my court date?
The short answer is once you bond out, those court dates that I gave you, they're gonna get changed. By that time, you should have spoken to your lawyer about your case. Your lawyer may be able to arrange what's called a plea in absentia, or the lawyer may be able to arrange something where you're not required to come back to court for hearings. But that's going to have to be a discussion between you and your lawyer and the judge and the district attorney.
Okay, and then once I make bond here, how long can you jail hold me for?
Well, generally, the paperwork starts with me. So you should be able to get bonded out today, but the longer I sit in this hearing, the longer it sort of drags everybody out.
Okay,
So that's why I try to, it generally takes me about 2 hours after I've seen my last person to get all of the paperwork together and back to the jail.
okay, that's it, thank you.
Okay, free to go back.
Ms. Ware,
Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with 6 counts of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, 1 count of battery, and 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects. So there's going to be a $5,000 bond set on the battery, and I set a $5,000 bond on each count for violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. And then I set a $1,500 bond for the drug-related objects. So you're going to have a total bond $36,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. I have a job to get to.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from an Andrea Jefferson. Do you understand that?
My pleasure, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, you said I got a bond for every charge, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am.
Thank you.
okay, Your Honor, that concludes the female side roster.
Okay, thank you for your assistance. Let's switch over to the male side. Have a good day.
Okay, Judge.
Yeah. Caesar.
Mr. Caesar, sir, you've been charged with one count. Give me a second, I have to drink some water. One count of failing to register. I've set the bond at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. I have attorney on file as well.
You said you have an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd, at 8:30 in the morning. Let me ask you this. Was your attorney supposed to be present today? We started a little bit early.
Assume so, sir. I'm assuming so, but it's okay. I can still post it bond. I mean, do my attorney need to be the present today?
The attorney does not need to be here, but if you've gone through that effort,
Huh?
what I'll do is I'll ask for you to just have a seat. The attorney should log on in 10 minutes,
Okay.
and I'll bring you back up and I'll just tell the attorney what I've decided and give the opportunity, the attorney the opportunity to tell me anything that he wants to tell me about you or your case, but you're gonna get a bond.
Okay, I mean, there's no problem about sending bond. Now, cash bond, can I just pay that with credit card or card, or you have to?
You can go through a bonding company, you can pay it completely in cash, or you can, if you have property in Clayton County that has at least 3 times the net equity, you can put up the property.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, so let's have Mr. Caesar to have a seat. Who is your lawyer?
Leon Hicks.
Leon Getz?
Hicks, H-I-C-K. H is in horse.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So when Mr. Hicks logs back on, I'll bring Mr. Caesar back up.
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Fuller. Mr. Fuller, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery and 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set a $5,000 bond on the battery and a $3,000 bond on the criminal trespass for a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Well, I can try.
Okay.
I don't have no family. Parents and everybody don't pass away. That's just me and my wife, and she got all my money and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Now there's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from Nakima heirs.
Excuse me, sir. That's what I'm trying to ask. Is there a way I can get that switched to like no physical contact? Because like I said, she got everything. You know, my money, my lawsuit, checks that came in yesterday. She got everything. Even my wallet. I mean, you know, she have everything. So you know, and I don't have anything.
So I understand that, and the short answer to your question is no, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Now, she can contact the solicitor's office and tell them, hey, you know, I'm not afraid of him, there's no problem. And they will look into it and they will make the determination as to whether they're going to change this condition or not. As a judge, it doesn't really matter to me too much if that's something that's reached, but what I generally tell people is what we don't want is whatever disagreement that led to you appearing before me today to flare back up this evening.
Yes, sir. Like I said, you know, we married. It wasn't them, but my phone fell and got broken. My phone.
So
it wasn't never, never nothing physical and like that. But the way they try to say me breaking my phone falling on the floor and cracking, in our house, just,
I'll say this, Mr. Fuller, I do hear what you're saying, but as an adult, the police should never have to come to your house for a disagreement between you and your wife.
Absolutely.
And so that's something that we do take seriously because, believe it or not, people get injured behind stuff like this. So we do take it very seriously. we do want to make certain that you are never in this position again. She's never in that position again. And y'all live your life and go about your life. But for the short term, your wife, it's my understanding that you can make the arrangements with the bonding company and your wife can pay the bonding company.
Okay,
She's just not going to be allowed to come and bond you out.
okay, but she can pay it. Cause I got like 75, well, I got 7,500 in the check that just came today. And the officer, I gave him, he asked me, he want her to keep my phone and stuff like that. She takes my time card with my money, my paycheck come out. She took that out of there. And I'm just trying to get to where, okay, you know, she got my money. Now, you know what I'm saying? I don't want her to, you know, I don't know if she can cash my checks or anything, you know how folks do stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to get to where, you know, she can either, you know, send my check, give me my money.
So, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. I need to play with the film, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. A lot of the things that you're asking me can be handled by your lawyer. I'm not the person that is going to be able to give you detailed information. I can only speak in generalities. Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. And you're gonna, I would encourage you to take the time to start the effort of reaching out to a bonding company. You know what your total bond is going to be, so that when I'm done with the paperwork and everything's sent back and this stuff is entered in, you will probably know what you have to do as it relates to the bonding company, because they are the ones that can make the final arrangements. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Anything else, sir?
Pretty much that. So if I can't make the bond, then I try to see something like that.
More than likely, no. If you're sitting there without a bond on a misdemeanor charge, you can get placed on a plea calendar and get your case resolved. And again, that's talking to the lawyer, because I don't know, like your wife may be packing everything up right now, saying she's leaving you, she's not going to take it anymore. Or your wife could be at home crying right now, I can't believe this has happened. So, like I said, I can only speak in big generalities that are really not going to get you to what you're trying to get, which is get out, get an answer, and get out. Okay? That's going to have to come through bonding company and come through your lawyer. Okay? All right, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Herrera?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with one count of trafficking marijuana. This is one of those offenses that I'm not authorized to set bond at this stage. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. I'm also going to set a bond hearing date for September 24th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, I have a question really quick. So there's no way I could get bond whatsoever for this, even though it's my first.
Well, first, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Did you say yes?
Yes, please.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, the short answer to your question is that yes, it's possible for you to get out between now and those dates that I set, but it's going to have to come through a consent agreement with the district attorney's office. A lot of people in your position don't have criminal histories. Believe it or not, I see this a lot, but I just can't set bond for it. And it's up to the district attorney to decide whether they're going to consent to a bond or not. They can consent tomorrow to a bond and you could be out tomorrow.
Okay, sir. So there's no way possible to talk to the district attorney today, or is, how do we?
No. No. The best thing the fastest thing for you to do is to retain your own lawyer so that the lawyer can begin working on your behalf today. I don't keep up with what the district attorney does. I know lawyers, they go with people in your situation all the time, and they're the ones that can put your best foot forward as it relates to getting a consent agreement and getting bonded out. This is not a violent offense, so it's not like something that is going to be an issue of public safety. But the legislature just said, I can't do it. The first judge can't do it on these cases.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Jackson?
Mr. Jackson, sir, you've been charged with 1 count or 2 counts of simple battery. I've set bonds at $4,000 for each of those counts. 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. I've set bond at $5,000. The aggravated assault by strangulation and the false imprisonment, I've denied bond at this time. And it was because your history has been littered with simple battery, criminal trespass types of things. And so I'm concerned that you may be a danger to the public. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Zionee Harville, Zionee Harville. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. And you're also going to have a bond hearing date set for September 24th. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Jackson?
Just like, do you know how long it'll take? Do you know how long it'll take for me to the time frame for my lawyer to come here, talk to me?
I do not. It'll be the public defender's office. And I just don't have their schedule. So they may be here tomorrow. They may not. I don't know. They may be here today. It's just, I don't know. The paperwork is going to go over to them today. So they're going to know that you've been assigned or they've been appointed to represent you. If you haven't gotten a phone call, I would contact the Clayton County Public Defender's Office and try to see if you can get someone to speak to you. Okay?
All right.
All right. You're free to go back, sir.
Johnson Michael.
Okay. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir, that's all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Johnson Thomas.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I'm not sure, sir. I'd like to see if we can reduce it. My age, I'm 65, I'm on a fixed income. I don't work or anything, and I'm disabled. And I'd like to see if we can reduce it. I don't have a big criminal past.
I don't generally reduce batteries because you're in control of what you do with your hands. And
I was attacked. I was,
I understand. I'm gonna keep it at $5,000. There's gonna be a stay away provision to stay away from a David Brannon. Do you understand that?
well, I don't know where it's at, but.
Okay. The preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back.
Leon Carlos.
Sir, you're charged with one offense of driving a vehicle with no valid license. The bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working, Mr. Leon?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yes,
About how much do you make per hour?
$13 an hour.
I'm sorry, sir.
$13 an hour.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, free to go back.
Murphy Malik.
Mr. Murphy, sir, you've been charged with one count of reckless driving, one count of obstructing an officer, and one count of driving on a suspended license. You're going to have a $1,500 bond for the reckless driving, a $2,000 bond for the obstructing an officer, and a $1,500 bond for driving on a suspended license. So you're going to have a total bond set at $5,000. You believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, about how much do you earn per hour?
I make about $750 a week.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Robin.
Okay. Mr. Raven, sir, you've been charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of cocaine. I'm going to set the bond at $5,000 for that. One count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and also set the bond at $5,000 for that. And possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, I'm setting the bond at $5,000. You're going to have one charge of theft by receiving stolen property. I'm setting the bond at $1,000 for that. And an improper turn, the bond is going to be set at $500. So your total bond is going to be set at $16,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You're on the upper end, but I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Ross.
Mr. Ross, sir, you've been charged with one count of felony theft by taking. I've set the bond at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
If I sit in here until the court date you give me, is that time served?
Most likely it will be, but it's a different judge.
Right.
So the short answer is possibly yes. Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. If you bond out, that date will get moved to a different date. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, I just like, so do I have to personally call the bail bonds myself, or can I have my brother take the money there and do it that way, or do I have to get a contact with him first?
Either option will work. As I've said a couple times, I complete the paperwork. It'll get done today. And so once the sheriff's department starts entering the information, the bonding company will be able to see it from their side, and they'll be able to roll everything through. So you can talk to your brother, or you can talk to the bonding company to get yourself out of here.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, sir?
That's
Okay.
it.
Free to go back.
So Watts,
Mr. Watts, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $3,000 for that. One count of disorderly conduct, the bond is set at $1,500. One count of obstructing an officer, and one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. So the bond is going to be set at $2,000 for the obstruction, and it looks as though they're charging you with misdemeanor marijuana, so it's going to be set at $1,500. So your total bond is going to be set at $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
At this time, no, sir. I just pay rent. And really my mom and my grandma just paid rent. So what I was gonna ask was I was supposed to be at work today. I'm not gonna discuss my case, but I was actually heading home from work when I was arrested on MARTA. So I was gonna ask, is there any way I could get my bond lowered or anything like that? Or, you know what I'm saying? Any help on that? I know I have some money put up, and my mom and my grandma can help me out with the bond, but I don't know if I can, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to leave the bond. I'm going to leave the bond the way that it's set. I'm going to suggest that you contact the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds, and they will work with you. So that looks like that may be your best option. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Watts, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. One of the things that's written in here is that, just so you know, one of the allegations is that you were given an opportunity. They believe that you didn't pay. You were given an opportunity to pay, and that you refused to do that.
Actually, sir,
and I'm not, and I wasn't asking for a response to you. I was just saying that's something that I take into account when you were requesting for me to reduce the bond.
And sir, I'm gonna just say this last thing I'm gonna say. I actually did give them my wallet. I gave the lady officer that was with them my wallet. She actually picked my wallet up, and you know what I'm saying? They were trying to get me to pay the $250. I already had paid the $250 as I was telling them. They didn't believe me. They took me downstairs. They kept asking me to check my card. I gave them the card. That's when the two officers grabbed me. They didn't like how I gave them my card. Officer, Your Honor, to be real with you. They didn't like how I threw my card or gave them my card. That's all. And in no way I did not strike them or or anything like that.
So the obstruction part is just basically they believe that you were being uncooperative as they were trying to investigate what had taken place. So that's where that comes from. Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back.
Your Honor, the three add-on.
Yes.
Mr. Bill.
Uh-huh. Okay, Mr. Bell, you've been charged with 7 counts of entering auto. I've set a bond at $5,000 for each offense. So that's going to be a total bond, 10, 20, $35,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Bell?
No, sir. No, sir. I just can't freeze.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
You're welcome.
Judge Gardner,
Yes,
did you get the other paperwork for the other 2 add-ons?
I did. Thank you, Mr. West.
Okay, I was making sure.
Okay. And you are who, sir?
Mr. King.
Mr. Kane. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. Did you tell me your arrest date?
My arrest date, I've been asleep, I would say around last, well, you know what? Oh, shit. Like, 5 a.m., I believe on, what morning was it? It had to be on like either a Monday morning or something, or Saturday, like, this was like a day ago, but it was like a staple of a day. But
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Mr. Kane. I'm sorry, I have 2 juveniles that, or actually 3 juveniles that we're going to be worried about. So I was just trying to make the arrangements for them to appear at first appearance. The question that I'm getting at, Mr. Kane, is it looks like it said that you were taken into custody on April 8th of this year. Does that sound about right to you?
April 8th, I believe, I'm trying to think, so I'm trying to let my brain work and stuff.
Okay. Why?
I believe today it's around August, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I already know. August, sometime within the last 2 days. That's all I already know about arrest. I know about April 8th on arrest.
So you're saying you're brought up here within the last couple days?
Yes, sir. Within I believe August 1st or August 2nd.
Okay.
Number one was a marking the beginning of the season or an end or beginning of something in or end. A week maybe or something like that. It was
Okay.
August 2nd and something.
I'm gonna set a $3,000 bond for you. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Probably not my own cash money, no.
Okay. There's gonna be a stay away provision to stay away from a Raphael Lester. And I know that's a stranger to you. And so it should be easy to stay away from that person. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. If you find yourself having trouble bonding out, you may want to speak to a lawyer about getting placed on the jail calendar. They do them every Tuesday. As this is a low-level misdemeanor offense. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working, Mr. Kane?
Technically, yes, on call or when I call to go to work.
Okay. About how much do you make per hour when you go to work?
Well, essentially, I don't really make much per hour. I just kind of work to survive, get the things I need, and do what I need to do to do right, and then I'll be all right.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Kane. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. So you're now free to go back, sir. Okay.
Demands.
Mr. Mons, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. I'm going to set the bond at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes,
I'm sorry, sir.
yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you currently working, Mr. Mons?
Yes, sir.
How much do you make per hour?
Probably like 1050.
Judge Gardner,
Yes.
I have a question. Are these the three juveniles?
Yes, my understanding is Mr. or Sergeant Blassingame is going to have them here.
We don't have them booked in yet. As far as Evan, my chief says they were supposed to go tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine by me. I'll be here to do them tomorrow. It was something that Miss Mary got a phone call or an email about, that they were trying to make sure that the juveniles are seen. So if you already have it set up and plan to see them tomorrow, that's fine by me.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, because they're being booked in as we speak because they're not in our system yet.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Thank you. All right, Mr. Mons, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
No, I have a question.
Oh, you said you do?
Definitely.
Okay, what's your question?
So I was supposed to go home yesterday around 4 o'clock. I got here around 2:30 because they had me in a holding cell at the airport. And I woke up in the back of a police car because they had me in a holding cell for like 30 minutes. And on my way out the holding cell, I had fell asleep because I only had like 4 hours of sleep last night because I had a flight to take. But as soon as I left the holding cell, I kind of like dozed off, so I hit my nose on the wall on the way up.
You have a question for the judge?
Yes.
That's not a question.
Oh, well, let me ask you a question. So what if I'm falsely accused of like trespass?
So it looks like it says that you were given a criminal trespass warning at the airport, and then you were seen back at the airport later, and the allegation was that you were harassing an airline employee at about 11:47 at night.
At night?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I wasn't there that night, sir.
Okay, that's the allegation.
Because this what happened yesterday. Oh.
Hold on. When you start a sentence like that, it sounds like you're about to talk about the facts of your case.
No.
You said this what happened yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday, I was just trying my policy.
Okay, so Mr. Mons, I've appointed a lawyer. Speak to the lawyer about your case. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're free to go back, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Still have Mr. Caesar Willie. He said, to spend-
Yes, his lawyer did not log on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and complete his paperwork. He's gonna have the bond that I had set for him. But if the lawyer is gonna log on, the lawyer should have logged on 25 minutes ago.
Okay, that's fine. I can I can do the bill.
Okay, all right, sir.
Okay.
Have a good day. All right, thank you for your assistance. Is that everybody?
That's everybody, Your Honor.
Okay, so it looks like the juveniles, tomorrow, we're gonna have them, have to deal with them. So the last time I dealt with juveniles, we did it at their respective facilities over Zoom, so you may not even have to worry about it.
They can mix with adults, you know.
Right. Okay, all right, have a good day.